My name is Janet Broughton and I am the Positive Change Coach. This is day one of a series I'm going to do for the next 5 days of a 10-minute video looking at different aspects of your life that you would like to change. And being the Positive Change Coach, we're going to make positive changes. So the one I want to discuss today is how to change relationships. Now that can be a relationship with a partner, with family members, with friends, work colleagues, neighbours, everybody that you are in touch with, you have a relationship with. Now, those relationships, great if they're working, but sometimes you start to jar against each other. You know, you started off lovely and linked, and then suddenly this is going on. And the temptation is, of course, to say, if only they would change. You want the other person to change, and they're thinking exactly the same. So you've reached an impasse where you're both wishing the other person would change. And I do get people who come on my courses and my clients who come to me one-to-one, starting off from that premise is everybody else's fault. If they would just change. But of course, the change has to come from within. And it's not a question of blame. This really isn't blame. It's just something has gone wrong and you want to do something about it. So first of all, there's a number of things you can do. One is think over the good things about this person, because there are good things about them. And those were the things you started off with that brought you together. Even if it's work colleagues, you've chosen to work in the same place. If it's a neighbour, you've chosen to live in the same place. So you've got something that initially linked you, and the closer the relationship, obviously tighter. And then somewhere along the way, it's come further and further apart, and then actually started knocking up against each other. But there is still there the bit that says, I like this person. I'm still in a relationship with them, even when it's not working very well. So make that list. Remind yourself why you liked them in the first place. They're good points. Because right now you're very focused on what's wrong with them, what's not working, their attitudes. You could list the what I don't like quite easily. So let's do the harder work, which it is sometimes, and list what you like about them. So that's starting to put you into a positive place. And then start to think about what you like about yourself. Ooh, there's a challenge. Because as I had a client the other night, in fact, and I said, I want you to tell me what you like about yourself. And she just laughed out loud. She said, oh no, we're not going down that road. And I bet there's an awful lot of you thought about that as I've said that. But it's really important to like yourself, because if you're accepting bad behavior from somebody, then there's a bit of you thinking you deserve it. You don't deserve any better because I'm not good enough. I'm a bad person. I'm sure there's lots of negative sounds going around in your head. So the list of what you like about the other person, the list of what you like about yourself, and you start to come into a more positive frame of mind. And it's just like when somebody says, don't think about red cars, and you'll see a red car everywhere. If you're starting to focus on what you like about them and you like about you, it starts to happen more often. And then you have to start thinking, you probably do criticize this person, whether it's in your head or whether you actually say it out loud. And you're getting the same back from them. I know that. So you be the one to start it. You want things to change, so you've got to take the first step. It's not about, well, I'm not budging because they're not budging, because that's not going to get you anywhere. So start off with being a little bit nicer to them. So if they do something that is actually good, congratulate them, thank them, say how much you've liked what they've done, just give them a compliment. You know, you might get at first like, oh, be nice to me. But get used to being positive about them and positive about yourself. If you do something well, congratulate yourself. You know, say, yeah, I did that really well. Don't you think? Yeah, build yourself up. So we're starting to do some practical things there. And at the same time, I want you to, as I said at the beginning, go within and start thinking about how you can appreciate what's going on for you. Where did this problem start? Go back to, well, before that, everything was fine. And then something happened. And you built on it and built on it. And nobody's done anything about solving the original problem. So it's just got worse. So you take yourself back to what was happening then. Now, sometimes that is difficult to make those moves. That's why I'm here as your positive change coach. So if you think I can help you with those things, then do come and contact me. We'll have a complimentary 30-minute session and we'll start to look at how the 60-day program can help you to positive change. Because I will take you inside to a deeper understanding of yourself, deeper understanding of the relationships you have. There is something called transactional analysis, as me tripping over the word, transactional analysis. And it is analysis of the transactions that take place between people. You know, are we doing that? We're doing that. Give you one example. There is a relationship referred to as parent-child. Not necessarily literally parent-child, it's about reflecting that in your relationships. So it can be between friends, it can be between anybody. And what happens is you get stuck in the roles because we all need to take those roles sometimes. If your friend is suffering and has had something awful happen to them, you are going to parent, you'll mother them, you'll give them a drink, you'll sit with them, you'll put your arm around them. And if the same thing, if something's going wrong for you, then they'll do the same. So that's a nice flow between you. But if you get stuck in those roles where you're saying, I am fed up of always being told what to do. I'm totally fed up of you making all the decisions and it's my life as well. You're stuck in child. Whereas if you're feeling, I've always got to make the decisions, it's always up to me. I am tired of being responsible for everything. You're stuck in parent and you're on those parallel lines. So as always, the first thing to do is recognize that. So as if you're acting in child, take some responsibility. If you're acting in parent, step back and say, please, can you make the decision? Have the discussion, not a heated one. Nothing happens when you're heated. Have the discussion about why have we ended up like this? So start to examine your relationship. And at the same time, you can take practical steps. I had a close family member who very much, I would have said at the time, controlled me. But she only controlled me because I gave her the power to do so. In that I would tell her where I was going every day, what I was doing. So if I was having a night out, and this is only over the phone, it would be, well, where are you going and what time are you going? And then afterwards it was, well, what time did you get there? And what did you do? And if you went for a meal, what did you eat? What did they eat? What did you wear? What did they wear? Barrage of questions. And I would give the answers. Information is power. So I was handing over my power. And then, of course, it got turned back on me. Well, you said, they said, and they did this and that. So it wasn't quite simply a question of getting the barrage of questions and saying, oh, I'm not telling you, because that would have just set up that argumentative feeling. I just didn't tell her I was going anywhere. So I got very good at managing it and not giving the information. So then it couldn't turn back on me and we didn't have the rows. And the next practical step I took was to join yoga and start to find something that gave me peace, that gave me an outlet, a calm one. So again, if this is something you think is going to help you, because you need some strategies, you need to change your thinking, because it's really quite hard if you've got all those feelings building up inside to just say, okay, I'm going to change. It's not easy to do on your own. As a positive change coach, I bring a proven system to you that will allow you to get rid of those negative feelings. I had a client I was speaking to yesterday, and her opinion was that everybody looks down on me. And she literally said, everybody, the whole of society. Now, we know that's not true, but that was what was going on in her head. And when I said, do you approve of yourself? Do you look down on you? And of course, it was coming from within. She didn't approve of herself, so how could anybody else? You send out the vibes and people go, oh, right, okay. And you see things in people's faces that they didn't know were there because you're looking for it. And once we used my proven system, she was able to let go of all that negativity, let go of that feeling of not being good enough, of not approving of herself, and actually was able to turn that into saying quite clearly, I am great. And I said, how does that feel when she said that? And she just went, it feels beautiful. Wouldn't we all like that? So if you want to feel like that, not just get rid of the negative, but make it into a positive change so that you can enhance those feelings and feel good about yourself and about the world around you, then please do join me for, say, 30-minute complimentary discovery session on how the 60-day positive change program can help you completely change your life for the positive. To contact me, it's janetbroughton at thepositivechangecoach.com, and the details are underneath this video. Now, tomorrow I'll be looking at making changes in your job and career. So I look forward to speaking to you then. Thank you.